Hello everyone, today we have a problem on LeetCode. It is to sum. Given an array of integers, nums and an integer target, return the indices of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. This is my first solution. We use two for loops. It is a nested loop, and this is a not optimal solution. Why did I say that? So let's go to the solution. We have an array 2, 7, 11, and 15, and our target is 9. So we must find the pair of indices that they adds up to the target, 9. So you can see 2 plus 7 equals to 9. So we return the pair of indices. This is 0 and this is 1, and we return 0 and 1. So the solution, I initialize two counting variables. It is I and it is j. Okay, after iterating through the loop once, we increase the counting variable by 1. So we use the same repetition after each loop. So this is my code. And if we detect the pair of indices that adds up to the target, we return that pair of indices. You got it? So since we use two for loops, and the time complexity here is big O of n squared, and the space complexity is big O of 1. It is the constant time. So this is the optimal solution. We use a hash map. As you can see, I initialize one more hash map. The key of the hash map is the value of each element in the original array, and the value of the hash map is the index of those elements. So after we map from the value into the index, we have 2 mapped into 0, 7 into 1, and 2 at 3. So those are my steps to solve the problem. The first one, I gonna map from the value into the key and the index of the original array into the value of the hash map. And step 2, I gonna find the complement. Diff, I initialize one more variable. It is diff equals to the target minus the nums at the index I. You can see with the first element, we have the 2 and the target is 9. So our diff is 7. And now our mission is to find whether 7 exists in the hash map or not. So you can see, look back to the hash map, we can see that 7 exists in the hash map. So we return the pair of indices that is 0 and 1. Otherwise, we increase the counting variable and we do the same thing. We calculate the diff, and after that, we detect whether that value exists in the hash map. You can see we use a hash map called mapping. So the first step, as I said before, we map from the first value, the value of the original array, into the key of the hash map, and the index of the original array into the value of the hash map. And after that, we iterate through the array once, and we use one more variable. It is the diff. And we detect whether diff exists in the map or not. And the index of the diff is different from the I one, so we return the I and the index of the diff in the map. Okay, so otherwise we return nothing. If we don't detect any diff exists in the hash map. In terms of the time complexity, you can see we just iterate through the array once, so the time complexity here is big O of n. We don't use the nested loop, and in terms of the space complexity, it is also big O of n. So because I initialize one more hash map, and that's the reason I use the space complexity is big O of n. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or any different solutions, just leave a comment below.